Alright, what's up guys? So, on this episode we're going to make a, it's for my sander. I've been doing a lot of pins. Recently my nephew's decided he wants to get into pins, also my cousin. So it's great. I get to work with them, maybe teach them a few things, maybe they'll teach me a few things. Different perspective, that's really what it is. You get somebody else's ideas, I can learn from it. I mean, they might not know how to do it, but still, they might have an easier way to do something. That'd be great. So, what we're going to do on this episode is I've got a belt sander slash disc sander combo, and I'm wanting to make a sled to square up the end of the blanks. Now the sled, it's only going to be six inches wide, maybe 5 inches wide. So a 5x5 piece probably will work fine for my sled, and then I'll build a fence for it. I just want a 90-degree sled is all I want. We'll have to make a runner. I'm using plywood. This is stuff I got out of the dumpster from a cabinet shop. I'm loving it. I got more maple than I know what to do with. People, scrap maples, man, you do so much stuff with all the wood that I got. And then the plywood is all maple plywood or Baltic birch plywood. Maple plywood's really expensive. This is maple plywood. I love it. I freaking love it. These are pieces I can use in my projects. So today on this episode we're going to make a sled for the sander assembly. That way he can square up his blanks a little easier. Make it a little simpler for him. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you guys the materials we're going to use. I believe this is Baltic birch plywood. It could be maple, I'm really not sure. Some of it says maple, but there's no writing on this. I believe this is 1/2 inch. Might be 3, I think it's 1/2 inch. Yep, it's 1/2 inch ply. This is good stuff, it's cabinet grade. You get all the scratch you ever want for jigs and stuff, and I'm in heaven. So I've got a few pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and make my 5.5 by 5.5. I'll go ahead and cut that out. I don't believe I got enough on this one. I don't. So I'll go ahead and make my 14 by 14 centimeter on that one. I'll use a couple chunks of solid maple, the straightest pieces I've got. I love this stuff. There's so much of this. Thick stuff, thin stuff, doesn't matter. But we're going to make a fence out of this. And then we'll go ahead and make a runner. We might make the runner out of the plywood. We'll use the real expensive, the maple. It doesn't work as much. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's get started, guys. Alright guys, so let's give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the combo belt slash disc sander. It's a 6 inch, I believe. 5 inch, I'm not sure the size. Anyways, but this is the table, whatever, I don't know the name of it, but we're going to make a sliding sled for this, a 90-degree fence, 90 degrees square to the surface of the sander, and that way he can slide it back and forth and square his blanks up at a perfect 90. It'll look awesome. I think he'll enjoy it, make things easier for him. I also think that it'll encourage him a little more. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and measure. We want this sucker to butt up as close so I can get it to this disc sander without actually technically rubbing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and knock a measurement out. I like using centimeters for some reason. You could use inches, but for what I do, I love doing centimeters, millimeters. It's so much more accurate. I don't know why we haven't gone to that standard yet. You can make it a little wide. I'm going to put it at 14 centimeters, which is 5.5 roughly. So 5.5 by, we don't need to go the whole thing, so I'd say 5.5 by 5.5. Sounds great to me. So let's do a 5.5 by 5.5 square sheet. Go ahead and get that cut out of the plywood. Get started. Alright, show you, man. There's such a real easy way. I'll set my square here. I'll set it where I want it. The distance, I push it flush. I bring it up to the blade. We're good there. That's 5.5. Little primitive way of doing it, but at this point we've got the piece to where it sets below the surface. It's good. I'm happy with it. We got one side that's perfectly flat. So to mount to our piece, our board here, we'll mount our board on it. And basically that'll allow the board to slide through. It doesn't wobble or nothing. And that's what we want. Alright, so we're at our final point. Sorry, I gotta hold the camera. The stand doesn't want to reach this far. So all I've done is I've put our runner at the bottom. It's CA glued on. I laid it in the track and I set the board on top of it. Okay, and I glued that down and I cleaned it up against the face. And then I put a face on there, a fence. And by using the fence, you take a square, butt that square up against the face of the sander and here, and set it at a nice perfect 90 degree. And that's all you have to do. And then at the bottom of it, like I said, I nailed it down. And that's all you have to do to build a sliding sled. It works great. Alright, well that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something. It was an easy, simple build, nothing hard to do. But in the long run, it really helps to allow you to square your pin blanks up. It's going to help my nephew a lot. He's going to love this. It's going to make his life so much easier. Made it out of some scraps. It's easy stuff to do. Like I said, I hope I taught you something. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't feel the video was sufficient enough to subscribe to me, check out a couple of my other videos. I got a few more out there. I got many more to come. I'm hoping I'm going in the direction you guys are liking. I like it. I have friends that like it, so I hope you guys do too. Any comments, please leave below. Like I said, positive or negative, I like them all. Doesn't matter. It's good with me. Once again, thank you guys for watching. You're always welcome here. Other than that, you guys have a great day. God bless. Thanks.